What's up, everybody? My name is Baby Smooth. I'm your bonking boy for the day. We are going to talk about the new weird things happening in the meta, and boy, are they actually really weird and strange and interesting, and that makes them fun. First off, we're kind of in a meta where weapons don't matter, so I'm going to talk about them at the end of the video instead of at the start. We're going to begin with tomes, and this is where things get immediately kind of strange. In my meta speculation video, when I first saw the patch notes, I was talking about how Robinette kind of come to the forefront. We're finally seeing her on the leaderboard. We're finally seeing those runs get off the ground. Now, when it comes to the leaderboard, a lot of people are saying it's slightly impossible to get over like 650,000 just due to the rate that ghosts spawn in. I don't really have the calculation on that for you right now, but I can tell you people are surviving, 12 minutes into tier 2, 12 minutes into tier 3 at max difficulty, and then surviving like 18 minutes after the final boss fight and only getting around 500,000, something like that. So for people to be getting 600,000 or 650,000, they would realistically be having to make it a long time in these waves. A very long time. 100,000 difference is kind of a big deal. I think it's a difference of, if I had to guess, like 7 to 10 minutes. That's a big difference. I don't know. It's possible that these people are getting the crazy god runs. But we're not here to talk about if these runs are real or fake. We're simply here to digest the meta. So let's talk about it. First off, people are opting to skip the luck tome. What was once one of the golden tomes, one of the trifecta, the big three, XP, cursed, and luck. Luck has fallen, and it's been replaced by a very interesting strategy that's a little bit toxic when it comes to resetting. So people are banishing every other purple except for the credit card and maybe the curse grabbies if you want. And they are just green credit card maxing out their luck because it allows them to have a new tome, the Chaos Tome. The Chaos Tome is really fun when it doesn't troll you and make you lose. The Chaos Tome is kind of a one-stop shop for a few things, whether it's size, a little bit of lifesteal, a little bit more XP gain, a little bit more luck. It's really doing a lot of things for you over the course of a run, and there's a reason it's so good right now. It recently got that buff where it gets 50% bonus stat gain, so when you get like a good stat roll, you notice. It's really impressive stuff. Now, I once had a plus 28% to power up drop chance from a Chaos Tome. That would take like 4 or 5 shrines minimum to get that type of result. That's kind of crazy from one level up. Granted, there's a lot of stats that it can give you, like health regen or like bonus shield, that are just not good at all. But the fact that it can give you good things makes it a very dangerous tome and a very good tome. But it adds a lot of RNG to these high runs that are already full of RNG, but it's fun. I like it. I really do appreciate it. The other tomes people are using are definitely the XP tome, definitely the Curse tome, unless you're Chadwell. You need to hit 600% difficulty, allegedly. I believe it's the 600% number to have the max amount of enemies spawn per wave. If you're trying to get a high score, this is what you absolutely need to do. Now, granted, you don't want to go too high over that 600% because enemies are going to be a lot stronger after that point for no reason. You get the maximum benefit at 600%, you want to speed run there, and then you want to taper it off if you can. The final tome is usually going to be attack speed if you're anyone but Bandit, or gold gain if you're Robinette. And I would love to talk about the Robinette strategy. I have the most experience with the Robinette strategy right now, and it is fun to play, but it's also incredibly stressful. Robinette is kind of fun and terrible at the same time. You're going to take the XP tome, the gold earning tome, the Curse tome, and the Chaos tome. And you're going to need some thoughts and prayers. You're going to be looking for Kevin, Golden Shield for the infinite money combo. And then you're going to be looking for any item that's going to carry your mediocre early game bow damage. So that's the Soul Harvester, stuff like that. And you just run it down, you look for the green credit cards. If you don't get the green credit cards or Soul Harvester, that's where a lot of tryhards will reset if they don't get those early on. Good luck. You can open literally every single chest from tier 2 onward if you have a good enough start, and it's really fun to just get all of these items and accomplish unfathomable things. by opening so many chests due to Kevin's interaction with Golden Shield and Robinette's passive, and the ability to use that gold tome without losing out on a lot of damage. Robinette is definitely an interesting character to play right now, and I highly recommend it. But you will be stressed. As far as the characters on the leaderboard and what they're doing, we already know why Bandit's up there, right? The attack speed is just really strong. It'll always be really strong. He starts with Dexecutioner. That's a good weapon. Bandit will always be a staple, unless something huge changes. Now we need to talk about Vlad and why he's up there. Some of you might not understand, but Vlad is up there because a combination of 3 items I'd like to call the Unholy Trinity. We've got the Chonk Plate, the Bloody Cleaver, and the Holy Book. Now the Chonk Plate is giving you lifesteal and it's giving you overheal, which is cool stuff, but the overheal is actually really important for activating the Holy Book. The Holy Book is dealing tons of damage, absolutely metric tons of damage, not to quote Riot Games, but it's pumping. It's doing a lot. Now if you have a size tome, it can cover the screen and it can outdo all your weapons easily, which is a common theme for this patch. The items are very much outdoing the weapons, but it's kind of always been that way, but it's incredibly noticeable with the Holy Book. I do not know if the damage from Holy Book is stacking, so maybe you banish it after one, but I do know that these good runs are having multiple Holy Books. Whether that's to counteract the Kevin that's killing you or not, I'm not sure. And finally, the Bloody Cleaver. Now, the Bloody Cleaver is very important. It's doing a lot of work here, and it makes sense why Vlad is being used when this item is so powerful right now. The Bloody Cleaver is allowing lifesteal to trigger blood mark stacks, and I think that's triggering a lot more rapidly when you have a lot of lifesteal. So I believe that's why the Bloody Cleaver is just carrying these Vlad runs. I believe that's why Vlad is able to be in the leaderboard at all right now. And the blood mark effect is just really proving to be decent against these ghost waves at the end of the run. Another item I want to talk about right now is an item that didn't get much love in the previous patch. It's the Soul Harvester. The Soul Harvester has always been one of the most incredible items in the early game. It will just play the game for you. You can just kill minions and it will snipe the boss for you pretty rapidly. It does way too much damage, especially early in the game. Don't tell the dev guys, but this thing is very important. A lot of people out there are actually resetting if they don't get Soul Harvester on level 1 and if they don't get the green credit cards, and that's kind of how they're playing the game here. And I don't blame them. The Soul Harvester 100% carries your runs, and it allows you to take really greedy choices for tomes. You will not have to level up your weapons if you have the Soul Harvester. You might not even need weapons if you have the Soul Harvester. And that's really a meta-defining item right now. Soul Harvester. Very OP. Get 1, get 2. Get as many as you want. I don't know. Maybe banish after a few. But incredibly strong. The final item I do want to mention is the Lightning Orb. Now, the Lightning Orb provides a little bit of CC to stun those ghosts at the end. I'm not sure if I truly believe in its power right now, but a lot of people are taking it. I think most solid runs that are above 500k are taking it, so I would take it as well. It's doing really good damage for what it is, and it's just a solid item. Make sure you have it on. Another item I gotta mention real quick is the Idle Juice. It's helping a lot of people at the end of the game. It didn't help previously because, once again, we were always executing our enemies with Dexecutioner and Joe's Dagger. But now that damage matters, the Idle Juice giving you max plus 100% damage from one item is kind of insane. Just make sure you're standing still. It's very good. I couldn't tell you how long it takes to charge up to max value, so think twice before you go pick up those chests. But you should go for them anyway, because it's fun. Idle Juice, put it on, use it. Real quick, I'll just scroll through my recommended item toggle list. Now, you can make different decisions in the green areas depending on the tomes you're getting. But as far as blues, you want to have as few as possible. You want the Kevin and the shield on every single character, just because it's adding so much money throughout the run. And you definitely want Echo Shards because they're so good for XP. As few purples as humanly possible to guarantee you're getting credit cards, and Curse Grabbies is very powerful as well. And I suppose you can make the argument to turn on Dragonfire, but we're not going to do that personally. I think, honestly, legendaries are kind of open-ended. You can turn on what you want. Now I'll try to briefly talk about weapons because, as I said, they don't exactly matter in this meta. But Right now, we're looking at the Dice Dynasty. The dice are just really strong right now. They're scaling themselves when they do crits, and they're just going to always pump out a lot of damage. Very respectable weapon. You should realistically have this with every build that you're making if you're trying to get a high score. It's just that good right now. There's nothing more to be said about it. Just have it. Just take it. It's that simple for me every single time. Next, we're going to talk about the Dexecutioner. It's still seeing a lot of use. It's not mandatory anymore, but it's still really good. You're going to see this on a lot of builds still. Very solid weapon, still used in the meta. Then we're going to talk about Aura. The thing about Aura is it's really good early game, and you don't have to have an anvil to level it up. So a lot of people are using this as an early game crutch until they find their Soul Harvester or something like that, until they find an item that can carry them. I think it's a great strategy if you're playing one of these weaker early game characters, such as Robinette, such as Vlad, even Chadwell. Aura will just get a lot of things going for you and allow you to actually play the game. God forbid you find, a great item and you're just not strong enough to win. Aura will make sure your run doesn't end within 5 minutes, and it'll save your mental health. It does fall off in the end though, but once again, we're not really in a weapon-intensive meta, so maybe it doesn't matter that you're using it at the end game. Maybe. Next, we'll briefly talk about Katana. It's still seeing a lot of use. It's still pumping out a lot of damage. It still instantly attacks enemies and scales with its critical damage really well. Katana is a solid addition to any build. Honestly, it's just one of those things you can throw in there. And if you get enough size, you just cover the whole screen and it just attacks fast. The whole point of weapons right now is to attack instantly. To instantly hit the ghosts, and that's really it, in my opinion. Some people really don't think it matters what weapons you use, but Katana is on the list of some that you can use. Next, we're talking about Blood Magic, another thing that's instantly hitting things. I don't think this weapon is very strong early. Obviously, if you take it, you're going to have a tough time. But if you counteract it with Aura, you might be okay. A lot of these weapons are just not the greatest early, so if you just want to play the game, you can do that. You can just have stronger early weapons, but in the endgame, you want these things that are instantaneous. Blood Magic is one of those things where it just strikes down from the heavens and destroys stuff. You'll see this in a few builds, and there's good reason for it. It's a solid, rapidly damaging weapon. And finally, we're going to talk about Lightning Staff. Lightning Staff has always been good, but because Lightning Orb is coming to the forefront on items, it's really, really good now. And I think it's just a solid choice as well. Kind of another weak early game weapon, but that's the story of the game for you. That's it for me. We're not sure how people are getting these 800 kills, 700 kill runs. We don't even know if it's mathematically possible at this point, but if you want to see a good 500k run, maybe even a 550 run, Robinette is going to be a great way to do that. Now, I didn't want to make this video until I had it all figured out, but I think people are being very tight-lipped on their top strategies. So all I really got for you is the top 0.0%. I don't have the top 0.0000%, but hopefully that's enough for you. I'm Baby Smooth, and that's been your meta review. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and good luck out there.